simple. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's weekly vlog. It is now Monday. I have had a really lovely, productive morning. We're in full swing of autumn now, which honestly brings so much joy into my heart. These autumn vlogs are honestly some of my favorite to create. So I went on a actually quite rainy autumn walk this morning. The mornings are beginning to get a little bit darker here and the park is actually closed really early in the morning, so I sort of get in as soon as they open the gates, which is like 7:30. We're not talking crazy hour here. 7:30, 8 o'clock. So yes, that is really, really lovely. I then came back and was actually getting our YouTube video up for last week because that was a little bit late. So I've been actually spending the morning just making sure that's all ready to go live and getting that uploaded. I did a Pilates practice and I kind of really got a head start on all of my admin for the week, which is really, really lovely. You can see a little kitten tail coming in there. But yeah, that is kind of the beginning of my Monday and I'm really looking forward to this week. I haven't said that in a long time actually. I feel like I maybe haven't had that feeling, and that's why this is the Healing Diaries. I feel like we haven't chatted about the side of the Healing Diaries that much as of late, but yeah, I'd say it's probably the first week in a long time that I've been really looking forward to it. Not feeling necessarily overwhelmed. I've had 2 really, really busy weeks before this, just getting things done for Soul Shadow, which I just love. I really, really do. Even if I find it overwhelming getting everything I want to get done, I do really, really love it. But this week is much quieter. This week is really just, yeah, just one of those slightly quieter weeks, which I love and is actually kind of the equilibrium I like to create within my work as well. So I'm really looking forward to what we've got ahead this week. But yeah, so that is the beginning of this week's vlog. It is Monday and I am actually thinking it's currently almost 2:30. I have a parcel I need to return and I just have a few things I could ideally do with getting from the shop, and the shop is right next to a cafe, so I thought I could go and park myself in a cafe for maybe like an hour or so. They don't stay open that late here, so I thought I could go to my favorite cafe though, which is a little bit more autumnal. It's called the Fallow Deer, and I thought that I could go and sit there and just have a little bit of a plan for my week, make a plan. I've actually been meaning to have a little, I think I've mentioned this in a few of the vlogs, that I've been really first of all sitting and connecting with my energy at the moment in like a really positive way, and then thinking about what that then looks like for my work and how it is that my work is growing and evolving and what that looks like. And I'm sure you will have noticed some of the changes already, one of them being that I'm here a lot more, but I really want to sit down and just get really, really clear on some of the core values of what it is that I do, what it is that I share, and I think today feels like the right day for that. So I am going to grab my notebook, grab my laptop, get myself all packed, do my returns, and then pop into a cafe, I think for a chai. I'm really feeling like a chai latte is what's needed today. It is a very on and off rainy day here, which I kind of love. Saying that, my hair did go absolutely wild on my walk this morning. I had to refresh it, but that's okay. We're in a cozy, very, very cozy jumper, and yeah, let's get going. Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. I think I left you yesterday. Was working in a cafe. I got a really good amount of work done. I feel like I'm having quite a productive week, which is really nice. It's the first day of October today, which is always, the first of the month is always a little bit busy in terms of, I want to make sure that I get all of the monthly classes for Soul Shala, which is my online virtual soul studio. For anyone who's new here, I always forget that there might be new people here, but yeah, I always post the classes coming for the month ahead on Soul Shala, and then I post it on the Instagram page for Soul Shala as well. And I also have my monthly energy update email, which goes out on the first of the month or there and around. It went out today, so within that, I'm going to mention this here as well because it might just be something that a few of you feel called for, so I'll mention it here as well. But within my email list, I announced that I am doing my intuitive 16-minute tarot readings for half price this month, so that is £45. So I don't think I've ever reduced them that much, but I just felt like a real intuitive call to kind of share that gift of tarot at a slightly more accessible price for the month. Because I just know that everyone wants it. Well, I feel like a lot of us are feeling really called to exploring and dipping our toes into the more spiritual practices within this time of year. So I'm always really, really just grateful and excited if I get to be your guide into that. And honestly, this morning, seeing the bookings flooding in as soon as that email went out has been so, so lovely. And always just makes me feel so, so grateful. And I feel the need to mention this on here as well because I am truly so grateful for the community that we have here on YouTube. Like, I adore you guys. I'm so grateful for those of you who are new, those of you who've been with me for quite a few years now and have kind of watched me move through so many different chapters and waves of my life already on YouTube. I'm so grateful for you. And obviously members on Soul Shala, I just adore you guys. You guys are my heart and soul. But every time something like this happens, I'm just really, really grateful. And I think I mentioned yesterday, or I've been mentioning a little bit in the past few vlogs, that my work recently has been going through a massive restructure and a massive just like change at the root of how I do things, and to see that that is resonating with people and see that that's resonating with our community and it's allowing us to create those deeper connections is honestly such a joy, because that is exactly the idea behind it. So yes, that is me this Tuesday morning. I actually have a therapy session starting very soon, so I'm gonna get on with that and then I'm gonna see how I feel afterwards. I do have a YouTube video I would like to film today, but I'll see how I feel. I tend to keep the day pretty clear, so if I just want to do some admin, I can do that. But yeah, we do also have an exciting series announcement going live this week on Soul Shala, all sorts of fun things. So yeah, with that being said, before I forget, I will link the booking page for the October tarot reading. So if you're watching this kind of around the time that it goes live and you fancy an intuitive tarot reading, always through the lens of deep healing and transformation and whatnot, I will pop the link below. I'm sure there'll still be some spaces available. So yeah, let's get on with the day. It is a very rainy autumnal afternoon. I've literally popped you on the windowsill just for a little bit of light, but I have had a really productive day actually. I have filmed a video for YouTube which will have gone live before this, and I have just put together a few marketing emails, done some editing, a very chilled but very productive day, which is really nice. And then I realized that I had shown you yesterday that I got a parcel from Indigo Lena and I hadn't shown you what it was. I am going to show it to you. It is this set I'm currently wearing. My plan is to do a little, maybe like a yin or a slow flow this afternoon before I head out potentially on a very, very rainy walk. I'm gonna see how I feel. But yes, in terms of my new Indigo Luna pieces, I did actually used to have a code with them. I'll see if it still is working and I'll pop it below just in case you guys like anything. They released the top in the new Bella collection, both in this like chestnutty brown color, which I'm just having a bit of a moment, burgundy and like chestnut browns this autumn. So I just thought this was just gonna get a whole bunch of love and wear. Hello guys, it is a bit later. I did a very gentle and short yin practice and I'm just out on my walk. I've literally just been able to put my umbrella away because it's not raining quite as badly as it was. It's actually quite lovely out. Less people come out for a walk when it's like this, so it's a little bit quieter in the park nearby us. So quite enjoying this, but I just thought I'd pop on and have a little chat before the light goes a little bit. Oh my gosh, you can see my breath. It's definitely getting cold. I remember someone used to always say to me, there's no bad weather, there's just a bad outfit. So as long as you're dressed nice and warm, I've got my wellies on, I've got a very warm coat on. And yeah, I'm actually really enjoying my walk. I actually have been meaning to come on and tell you that I have been listening to the Witch podcast by BBC4. I listened to it last year, so if you've watched my autumn vlogs from last year, I listened to it last year, but I'm actually re-listening because it just gets me feeling so autumnal. That's the only word I can think of. It really gets me in the kind of the vibe for the season. This feels like a magic in the mundane moment. Look at that tree. Something else I actually thought I'd pop on and chat to you guys about as well is, I think I mentioned earlier that I'd had like quite a productive day, and it actually got me thinking, because one thing that I've been doing recently, not actually to increase productivity, I really don't love the idea of productivity. It feels very like, it feels very in the masculine. It feels very like this is what we are told we need to be. So I don't love the idea of every day needing to feel super productive. I feel like it's a lot of pressure, and I also feel like that's really like a surefire way to feel a little bit disconnected from your natural rhythms and your feminine energy and whatnot. But I did mention that I'd had quite a productive day earlier, and something that I've been really focusing on, light is not very good, but something I've been really focusing on as of late is, rather than productivity, is trying to get into what I would call like a feminine flow state, and just things flowing and it feeling just really aligned and really fluid, as I said. So something that I've actually been doing for that is I have a focus setting on my phone that I have made called feminine flow state, and to be honest, I turn it on for most of the day, and what that basically means is I get no notifications. For those of you who might be new here, I like divorced my phone over the summer and really wasn't vibing just being on it all the time. Like, I had a massive break from it, and it was honestly so refreshing and so liberating. So this feminine flow state focus setting, literally no notifications. I only get calls and texts from Jake, and then I can dip in and out should I wish to, but my phone's dimmed, it doesn't go off, and it really just, that's one big thing that I feel like really has helped. Another thing is also just kind of taking the pressure off, creating a really lovely chilled environment. And when I get these days, great. When I don't, that's fine. Like, you get done sort of the things I really need to get done, but otherwise there's just no force. I'm not in a stage in my life where I really want to be forcing things. I want to create space, and I want to create that flow, as I said. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get on with my walk and keep listening to my podcast. Hello guys, happy Wednesday. I am just popping in the car, as you can see, but I think I checked in with you last, trying to get my coat off. I think I checked in with you last on my morning run. I went on a really lovely run actually this morning. I don't run that often, once, maybe twice a week, not that often, but you know, this morning's run was one of those where I was just feeling I'd never push myself. I really don't run for very long or very far. It's purely like a pleasure run, and to be honest, like a celebration that I can run. I know that sounds so silly, but I really had one of those moments when I was on my run this morning of just like how grateful I am to have a body that can run in nature when it's autumn and it's gorgeous, and it's just like such an experience. And I really just had a bit of a cheesy moment this morning with that, which is like, oh, I am so grateful to have a body that moves for me the way it does, and just filling it with so much love, which I feel like all of our movement practices ideally should come from that space, if I'm honest. So that was lovely. And then it's actually quite a bit later. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because I have been in that really lovely feminine flow state that I chatted to you guys about on my walk yesterday, getting some bits and bobs and all of the things ready for the new series we have launching on Soul Shala on the 15th of October. And I can announce it here because I've just shared it kind of everywhere on emails and whatnot. So we are doing a new 8-week series called the Goddess Series, and it is all around connecting to your deep feminine energy and like deep feminine healing as well, which is something I am so passionate about, as you guys will very well know. Everyone knows this, but I am just so excited. I'm going to chat about it a little bit more at some other point, but I'm very, very excited for that. So I was just getting everything together. I was also beginning to think about maybe putting a Pinterest board together for that, which is really exciting. But with that being said, I am now headed to the shop to get us some stuff for dinner. And I think I might also get some baking supplies, so maybe I can do some baking tomorrow. I'm thinking I might make Taylor Swift's chai, like pumpkin chai cookies, which I only made for the first time this year. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a massive Swiftie. A few blogs back, I actually went to the Eras tour and it was like, I bawled my eyes out, if I'm honest. But yeah, this was the first year that I actually made her chai spice cookies. I think I'm going to make them again because I have most of the supplies. So I think I'm going to get some ingredients for that, as well as just bits and bobs that we need. So let's get going. Oh my goodness, I can see in the tree in front of me there is mistletoe growing. Gosh, that is getting festive. Anyway, let's get to the shop. Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. I have just walked Jake to the station and then continued on for my morning walk in the park. So it was relatively sunny. It's still quite bright and early on a Thursday morning. I don't know if you can see the deer in the background there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I think I left you guys yesterday evening. I was having a really lovely evening wind down. I feel like I'm beginning to get my evening routine down to an absolute T, where I just really feel my nervous system settle and feel really ready to go to bed. And then I am then very well rested. Saying that, one of the cats woke us up at not even the crack of dawn, before the crack of dawn, at about 4 a.m. this morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I have been up for hours, but I've had quite a chill morning. I was reading, had a cup of tea, and now I've come out on my walk. The plan for today is, I was actually thinking about what I wanted to do today, and I think I'm going to have what I'm going to call like a yin day, or like a feminine energy nourishment day. I have 1 or 2 things I need to do work-wise, but my aim is to do like a half day, and then I want to do some baking this afternoon. I love baking, and I think I mentioned I got supplies for Taylor Swift chai cookies, so I think that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. Maybe pull some cards. Yeah, just have a real feminine energy, girly yin afternoon. So with that being said, my arm is getting tired, so I will check in with you when I'm home. He is so cute. Oh my goodness. Hello guys, I am sat from what very much feels like my spot this week, but I have, I'm just gonna turn the music off. Alexa, turn the music off. Yes, I am in my spot. As I said, I do have just a few bits and bobs, and I thought I might just pop on and share what it is that I'm doing. So first things first, I did just file for my first tax return. Less exciting, but it feels really good to know that little bit of admin is done. I have got my matcha, which just glorious. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this yet, but we have a new series launching on the Soul Shallow called the Goddess series, which honestly I am so excited about, and it felt like the right day to come on and chat about it because I'm having a feminine energy day, and this is a series just like so rooted in feminine energy, and honestly just so rooted in that energy and helping members and practitioners and whoever it might be just return back to their feminine essence. And it really kind of taps into those moments where we feel maybe a little bit burnt out, a little bit lost, and really disconnected from ourselves. And this series is 8 classes inspired by the goddesses and feminine archetypes to be your way home back to yourself, to be that route back to your truest, deepest feminine essence. So I'm really excited about this. This has been something that I have been sort of brewing up in my mind for a really long time. I've played around with a few goddess classes on Soul Shallow before. I actually had some members request this as well, and I was like, you know what, this feels really aligned. So even though, to be honest, for the tail end of this year I didn't really want to be doing anything, launching anything or doing anything particularly new, I really wanted to just like sit in the stillness of energy. This felt really just an alignment. So but that is kind of what I'm working on. I shared it over on Instagram yesterday. I'm not really on Instagram that much. I'm sure I've mentioned this here before, that I'm not really on Instagram as much as I used to be, which I love. I really enjoy that sort of move away, but I do have the Soul Shallow members page, so I do make sure to update that because I know that a lot of our members do like to have those more like daily updates on Instagram. So whilst it's not daily, there are easy to find updates over on Instagram for Soul Shallow. So I shared that yesterday. But today I want to just make sure that everything else is kind of put in place for it. So that is kind of the plan. I mean, my task for the day before I sort of clock off for the afternoon, and I might actually do a little bit of this afternoon as well, is to create a Soul Shallow Pinterest page, which I'm really excited about. I've been kind of on a bit of a mission to find softer and slower ways to connect with you guys and to sort of create those communities that don't create these feelings of like you needing to be doing more, that allow you to feel in this really like soft, receptive, feminine space and also connect, because that's the way I want to connect with others. So I can only imagine that the people that I want to connect with feel the same. So I'm really excited about that. That is going to be a really like fun activity to do. So yeah, that is kind of what's on the cards for the day. The apron is on, which means my feminine energy afternoon can begin, my yin afternoon. I'm just gonna get all the ingredients out and then I will link the recipe that I'm going to use down below, but I just thought we could have a really good old chat. I don't have an electric mixer, so it means that I do all of the mixing by hand. So I've got lots of time to chat to you whilst I'm mixing away. So let me get all the ingredients out and then we can get started. Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. A little bit of a Taylor intermission there because we simply cannot make Taylor Swift Try Cookies without a Taylor sing-along. However, I don't want to get copyrighted, so we'll have to on and off it. That 10-minute version All Too Well at the Eras tour was when it started snowing. Incredible. I really hope there's some Swifties out there who are also feeling the vibe of this. Okay, cup of tea ready to go. Of course in my autumn mug, because that is very much the vibe for my yin, my feminine energy afternoon. Mango's really wanting to join in, bless her. Do you want to come and say hi? Come on then, Angel. Mango would literally come up here if she could, but as I said, our kitchen is simply not big enough for that and also not the most hygienic. But yeah, we definitely all do have different things that get us feeling connected back to that, and I think Something that I actually wrote about a little bit in the blog post for the Goddess series was kind of that feeling, which I feel like I've definitely had moments of this year. So maybe this will resonate with some of you. For some of you, this might not resonate at all. But just that feeling of being severed from your like feminine essence and your feminine energy, and that feeling of being maybe a little bit burnt out, but like exhausted from something that like rest can't even fix, if that makes sense. It's like a deep feeling of, yeah, burnout and like confusion, maybe, I don't know. I wrote it much more eloquently in the blog post, so I will link the blog post down below, but sometimes I feel like it's just me feeling these things, and then I read things and I speak to people and I'm like, actually, like, of course, within the world we live in, we are gonna feel so disconnected to like, and I'm not talking sort of like the glittery, sparkly, like cutesy feminine essence and energy that I know I've made videos about in the past, and like we also love that, but I just mean like the deep rooted, like at its core, not shiny, not necessarily exciting either, but like really almost homely and like deeply connected feminine essence that I know I was probably feeling disconnected to and didn't even realize. We're on the stage of 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're really getting in there, but yeah, I really do, as I was saying, feel like this chapter that we're currently in is really asking me to sink deeper into it, and I feel like a lot of us are feeling that recently. That's actually why you haven't seen a feminine energy video from me for a while. I've just posted a new one actually today, but obviously it will be in the past when you guys are watching this. But yeah, it's been a real journey, and I'm really beginning to once again love these spaces, and I really only started implementing this sort of appreciation for the yin when I became a yoga teacher, and when I started teaching yin, and when I started really seeing how healing, feminine healing and feminine energy can truly be. So that is the reasoning behind a feminine energy afternoon, or evening or day. Ideally it's a day. To be honest, I actually, given kind of what my lifestyle is now like, I actually try to implement this in some way every day, but real dedicated days are also just like so great for this. Let's see what's coming next. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. To say there is magic in the air this morning would be the biggest understatement. Oh my goodness, I need to stop and show you the little sleeping deer. I know I'm the queen of my morning chit chats getting interrupted by sleeping deer, but look how gorgeous he is. I told you there's magic in the air. There's another one over there. I don't know if you can see him. There he is under that tree. How gorgeous are they? Sorry, back to what I was saying. There is, without a doubt, magic in the air this morning. It is a very sunny autumnal morning. I want to speak to you, but I also just feel like I need to show you everything. Just look at this. I hope you can feel the magic through the camera. Like, I saw this thing the other day and it was like, girls want nothing more than just to find portals in nature. That is how I feel this morning. Okay, back to chit-chatting, as I was saying, but honestly, there is nothing better. I came out the apartment this morning and the air was crisp. There was like a chill in the air. There was like, not quite frost, but the beginnings of like that dewy frost on all of the grass. There is mist in the air. Honestly, you could just feel the life coming back into you as you stepped out into the sunlight. It is the most gorgeous morning, and honestly, I feel like, oh my god, There is a little feather. Can you see that? That is sign from spirit. That is without a doubt a sign from spirit. I'm always convinced in signs. That is a sign to see a feather there. There's also a stag over there, which I keep saying comes out in my meditations constantly, obviously because I probably spend so much time in the park and I see deer all the time, but I was shocked when it was a stag and not like a doe or anything. Anyway, I have found myself a bench to catch up with you guys because I keep getting so distracted by just how gorgeous nature is, which sounds so cheesy, but I am 100% that person. But I just thought I'd have a catch up with you before we finish the vlog, because I feel like this week has been actually a really, really lovely week. And again, I think I said this earlier in the vlog, I haven't said that in a little while, but this week has just been a really, really lovely week, and it's been just really nice to sink into, first of all, a slower pace. I can't stress how important that is, and create time to be in your more yin energy and my feminine energy. And I think I'm sure I mentioned this, maybe it was on my walk yesterday, that the sort of chapter I'm in is calling me even deeper into that energy. But it also got me thinking about, and just this morning has also got me thinking about, forgive me, I'm going to go very yoga teacher on you, but this idea of Santosha. And for anyone who doesn't know a lot about yoga philosophy, Santosha is basically contentment. It's this feeling of contentment and being really, really present. And I think when we think about Santosha, it's really easy to find contentment when things are okay. It's really easy to find contentment when things are good. And I definitely say in the past, I feel like I was practicing Santosha, but to be honest, I don't think you truly start practicing Santosha. There's someone coming, so I'll let them pass. On the topic of feminine energy and contentment, a really lovely, slightly old lady came and sat on my bench with me, and we got chatting, and she took out her pastels and started drawing the park. Anyway, back to what I was saying about this mastering of Santosha and this practice of Santosha. I truly believe that Santosha is easy to practice. This contentment, this gratitude, this being present is very easy to practice when things are good or when like things are okay. But when things are really not how you want them to be, and you feel like you're moving through like a dark night of the soul, or those real in between spaces where you're not sure what you're doing and you're feeling a little lost or whatever it might be, practicing Santosha and finding Santosha in those moments is probably one of the hardest things, but one of the most freeing things without a doubt. And I feel like, at least this week, I feel like I've really had those moments of just like, it's okay. Like these middle spaces, these liminal spaces that we've spoken about on here, I know before, of not quite there where we used to be, not quite where we think we're going, but it's okay. And we're present and we're finding joy. And even if we're not finding joy, we're finding just like neutrality to it and able to live in it and see the small glimmers, if you will. So yeah, that is my little bit of wisdom for the week. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I love making these healing vlogs for you. I love that this one's been a little bit more, as I said, feminine energy inspired. If you did enjoy this, please, first of all, subscribe. I would love for you to stay here. I'm under a tree. I would love for you to stay here with me and we can hang out every week. Also, I've started creating blog posts, and Soul Shala now has a Pinterest and all the things. I'm going to link that down below, and I'll mention it maybe in a little bit more depth in another vlog. Gosh, those words are going to get confused now. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please like and subscribe and comment below if you enjoyed this. But otherwise, I will see you in my next video here on my channel. Bye guys.